Hello everyone, I'm Susan Anderson. This is Susan So Creative, where it's only wrong when it doesn't work. It's gotten really cold this winter, sub-zero temperatures at night, snow on the ground. Everybody's cold, including our little furry friends. Most of you know that I have 3 rescue cats. You've probably seen them on some of my videos. Well, they get cold too, and they are always finding and fighting over the one small places in the sun that we have that are exposed to a southern window. Well, I came across this one great idea about a self-heating mat for pets. No electric involved. You don't have to worry about short circuit fire getting caught or anything like that. And it's perfect for animals. You can make it any size you like. You can make it from scraps, anything you want to do. Why don't you join me today and we'll make one up for our furry friends. I've given you a complete list of supplies and so forth, as well as a handout that you can download for basic instructions step by step. And we're working with roughly a 15 by 20 inch piece of velour, which I'm going to go right now and serge off the unfinished edges so they won't fray. So once I've got that edge serged, just to finish that off and keep it from raveling and fraying and so forth, I'm just going to go ahead and do a straight stitch on the top of this just to hold it in place. By making an envelope pillow, that allows me to remove the interior to wash the outside of the pillow and not have to worry about the batting and everything on the inside. And with a fold over like this, I don't have to put in a zipper. And there's my stitch down hem, all ready to go. So what I've got is I took my ½ yard of velour, okay, it can be Shannon, it can be Minkie, it can be whatever you like, and I've cut it in half. So I have 2 pieces that are roughly 22 inches by 18 inches, okay. Then I took, after I cut that in half, I then cut off 3 inches off of one end and finished it, just finished the edge off. I serge finished it and then stitched it down. Same thing with the other end of that raw edge. Now, get myself some pins here real quick. And I'm going to turn this into an envelope pillow. Okay, so I've got my fold over piece here. This is the back of my project. And then right sides together, I'm going to take my other piece of velour that I cut off, and I'm going to match my raw edges. And we're just going to put pins in here to hold it in place until I can get it to the machine. I never sew over a pin, so that's not going to be the issue. Now again, you can make this any size you want. I'm just making a small one. I have a cat that happens to like to sleep on my husband's desk when he's sitting there at the computer. And the computer's warm, and that's part of it, but he also just likes to be around people. So I thought I'd make him one of these little warmer pads for that. I also have made them for where they like to sleep. They like to sleep in the windows. They like to watch out the windows. We have deer and squirrels and rabbits and all kinds of things where I am. So they like to sit and watch those things run by. And like I said, I'm just going to pin this together to hold it temporarily until I get all the edges done. Now I'm going to take it to the serger and just go all the way around the entire project. Since I already have my opening here and completed, I don't have to worry about leaving an opening on the casing part at all. So let's just take that over and get that done. Okay, so I've just gone all the way around my piece using my serger. I'm going to make sure I've caught all the edges and the corners and so forth like that. And Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I caught all my corners and everything. Now, I will give you a tip on pinning on sergers. I left this one in so you could see it. And what I did was I pinned back away from the edge, not this way, which I normally pin with a sewing machine where I'm coming in from the right side and going into the fabric. I come from the left side and go towards the seam. Now when I get to that, I know my blade's not going to cut it, my presser foot is not going to will run over top of it, but my needles are away from it. If you want to pin further back, you can. But if you're going to pin on a serger, you want to pin away from the edge, okay? And this is kind of hard to do on a velour, but if you can't, because you can't find the pin all the time, so that way you don't have to worry about ever striking the pin with your needle, breaking a needle, messing up your knife and having to replace your knife and so forth. So there is a safe way to use pins at a serger. Now we got that done. Let's turn it right side out. Like so. And I've got this nice velour pillowcase. Okay, that's fine. Big whoop, right? I understand. But what I'm going to do with this now is I've cut up a piece of batting that I had used just for doing some what do you want to call it? Just some practice stitching on. So there's nothing on here, it's just regular practice stitching. So I cut this up and decided that was going to be the interior of my piece. And to make this extra warm, have you ever gotten one of these envelope things where you've gotten a cold, maybe a shipment in it, like a piece of food or something like that that was perishable, and you have this wonderful insulated fabric? Well, you know what? That's going to go on the inside of my pillowcase. Just like so. And what this is going to do, now the reflective side is going to be toward the pillowcase, because when the cat or dog sleep on this, it's going to use their body heat and warm them back up. It's great. The cats just love it. And I'm sure your puppies will too. But that just is going to go right in there. And then just to give it that little extra little softness, I'm going to take an extra piece. This doesn't even have to be quilted. It can just be batting. Don't waste your quilter's cotton or anything on it. Because all it's going to do is just give it some body. And we're just going to slide this right in as well. And my cat is going to have a nice place to curl up where he can get nice and warm next to the computer, and he's got his own space. Now, if you wanted to embroider this, you could embroider the cat or dog name on it, or just, you know, cat or dog, or your initials or whatever else you like. These make great gifts, but they're perfect for getting your kitty or puppy nice and warm in the cold, cold winter air. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you got some tips. Make up some of those mats for your furry friends so they don't freeze to death this winter and they get that nice snuggly warm feeling. If you want, you can also make them for your local shelter. I know they will appreciate it. They are sleeping on cold floors and everything in those shelters or in cages, and that nice little warmth that they provide for themselves with those self-fading mats would really be great, and I know the shelters would appreciate it. So thanks for joining me today. I'm Susan Anderson, Susan So Creative, where it's only wrong when it doesn't work.